My name is Cami Browne, and I graduated from WSU with my bachelor's in 2002 with a bachelor's of science in ag ed and a minor in ag business, and I just finished my master's in December of 2007 with the master's of science in agriculture. And this is my 6th year teaching ag at Clarkston High School.
Great, and then what classes do you typically teach here?
I have a greenhouse class. I have animal science, which is basically my freshman. We have a new class this year, floral design, that counts as a fine arts credit for students. And I also have an ag business and an ag science class, and we also have the basic ag mechanics and that sort of thing too. My favorite is ag business because it's so related to real life things. All the commercials that you see on TV marketing the products, that one is by far my favorite.
And then I take it you're also the FFA advisor. What are you guys busy with right now?
I am the FFA advisor, and we just qualified for the national convention for our horse evaluation team, so trying to get 5 girls all ready to go to nationals in about 5 weeks. So that's our biggest thing right now.
Did you grow up in a farm or a rural background, and then what is your experience with agriculture?
I actually grew up in Clarkston, and my parents lived about 20 minutes from town on 5 acres, so I was active in 4-H and FFA from the time I was in 3rd grade all the way through high school. We had horses, a few cows, chickens, raised pigs, sheep, and all that sort of thing.
How did you decide on a career in ag education?
When I was a junior in high school, I thought I wanted to be an architect, and I thought, 5 years of school didn't sound that much fun. But when I was real active in FFA, I thought, how fun. It's not like you're teaching math, where it's the same thing over and over every day. And ag is always changing, and it's so important, and we have to have it. So I thought it would be really fun.
And then why did you decide to go to WSU?
WSU was a really good school for ag, and plus it was really close to home. So then if I wanted to come home on weekends, it was only a 45-minute trip, and plus it was noted for being a really good school.
Who was your favorite professor at WSU and why?
There's a lot of really good professors, Dr. Swan, Dr. Klein, and Jim Durfee. Out of the ag department, I think those guys are all really good because they really cared about the students and making sure that they succeeded and were prepared for life after college.
What was your hardest class you had at WSU?
Hardest class would have to be economics. I liked the whole ag business thing, but those were always the toughest classes, and econ for sure was by far the hardest class.
Overall, how did your WSU education prepare you for teaching in the classroom?
It really prepared me well. They go through all those classes, teaching, learning the practicums, and that real classroom experience. So I thought it was really good. I felt fairly prepared by the time I got my first job.
Who are your current students, and what kind of background do they come from?
Pretty much all of my students come from the city. If any with agricultural backgrounds, there's maybe 5 out of the whole 120 that I see every day. So most of them are city kids with not very much agricultural background whatsoever.
Do they want to go into agriculture as a profession, or what do they want to do with it?
I'm getting more and more into the ag profession all the time. Lots of them are really big into the medical profession, and lots just going right into the industry. So we're working on getting more going into the agricultural industry.
Has enrollment in your classes dropped or risen over the past several years?
Since I've been teaching at Clarkston, they've actually started to rise, which is really exciting. Last year I didn't have very many freshmen, and this year I have 2 classes full of freshmen. So for our program, that's really good.
What does ag education at the high school level entail? Just give a basic overview and what students do on a day-to-day basis.
For our kids, they have to be enrolled in an agricultural class to be part of the FFA association. So it's an optional thing, so being in class, they're not required to be an FFA. Some think, if they're in animal science, they have to take an animal to the fair and be an FFA, and that's not the case. So hopefully it's just exposing kids to the different areas of agriculture and the different career possibilities that there are for them. So hopefully my goal is to give kids the skills that they need to be successful outside of high school, and plus expose them to some of the agricultural influences in our area. We just did soils. We're working on that in my greenhouse class, so they're working on being able to identify the different textures, topsoil, subsoil, all those different types of things, conservation practices, what soils are best for construction and building roads and those type of things. We do digestion and nutrition with the animals, where we actually bring in an actual digestive system and let the kids cut that open and look at those on the inside. Greenhouse class, they grow plants, so they create color bowls, hanging baskets, plants from seeds, take cuttings, and enter plants at the Stoughton County Fair, and also have a plant sale each spring. In our business class, we do a marketing plan each year, so the kids pick an actual business in the valley that's ag-related and try to create a marketing plan for their product. So lots of those type of hands-on, hopefully practical skills for students. For my classes, the kids that are in FFA, most of them are really excited about the Stoughton County Fair. It's the largest event here in the county in Clarkston, so every spring, out of the 60 kids that I have in FFA, about 50 of them show animals at the Stoughton County Fair every spring. So that's probably their biggest thing, and now we're working on more of the leadership type events, so getting more and more kids involved in the career development events as well as raising animals in their SAE projects.
How has what you do changed since you started here?
It's definitely getting easier. The first couple of years of being a teacher is really hard, so the more you get into it and the more you know the kids, the easier it makes it. So with experience, anything's easier.
In your opinion, what are the largest issues facing Washington State agriculture today?
I think the big thing, especially with high school kids, is if you're from a non-rural area, they think that agriculture is just farming cows and plows, where they don't realize all the other different types that go into it, the business aspect, marketing, all those different types of things in the science, so it's not just production agriculture.